Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season, obviously. A perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
Big, highly competitive pocket passer, can scan the field to make every throw that you're looking for. Also one of those players that people love to have on the squad in terms of leadership. As he goes, his team will follow.
Ready, black 22.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They had the run for no gain. Now
Ready, white 25.
On second down, Elliott. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
I got it.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. A look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And they needed to be because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done. 2
runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Ready, blue 80.
On 3rd down, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
We got 4.
Now let's go!
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. To throw on 2nd down. Holt got his man complete over the middle. It's Patrick. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
On 1st and 10. Holt. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Looking to throw on 2nd down. Holt. Open man right side is Ingram. First reception for him, and remember, he leads the NFL in that category here in this first month. Also has a first down. The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 8 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Here's a give to Barkley. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't it?
First down carry for Barkley. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw. Holt. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Back to throw. Holt. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
That's it, baby.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Ready, blue lady.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Ready.
Throwing, Winston. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the gun, Winston. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too.
Personal foul.
And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
To throw, Winston. A dump off to Elliott. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Winston throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. unable to find anyone open.
4 down. Ready. Blue waiting.
A second down throw for Winston. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong arm.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember they did.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patrick. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Looking to throw. Holt throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, Holt. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
You got 3 down. Ready, blue ready.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where you see the final score there. From there, we're off to this one, as it ends in a rare tie. And finally, a good one scheduled for Monday Night Football between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. In our game has been Jameis Winston, who's been on target in the first half. His guys have the lead as we send you back to MetLife Stadium in Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Throw left side complete. It's Patrick. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On first down, Holt. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 13 and also a first down. A handoff to Barkley. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Mike is 59. Mike's at 59.
And they'll run it here. And he'll he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Holt going right side here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Saquon Barkley, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw on 2nd down. Holt. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. In for the score. And the Giants are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done. Keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry, always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium.
Let's go now.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Ready. Blue ready.
They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward. So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll come out in the pistol. Back to throw. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point attempt to follow here. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Oh, Jameis Winston still down. Must have been shaken up there on the last play. Let's hope he's okay. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patrick. And he's got this down to the 35. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short game down to about the 33. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Four down. Alert. Mike's 59.
In the middle of the ground attack here. He will push his way down to about the 14. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Watch left. Start right there. Even. 4 down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Holt caught it about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away.
All right, here we go. 319. 319. Check. 59. Exit.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Now the try here for the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Jameis to throw it. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Ready? Blue lady. Where's that?
They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Ready to go. Ready to go.
And now the spike comes with 28 seconds left on the clock.
Offside. Defense.
Watch Mike. Watch Mike.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Here's Winston. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. And he clocks it with just 10 seconds left. And it's incomplete. And now we're down to 10 seconds. One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal.
Ready. Black 22's hot.
They'll throw again. Winston. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick.
A lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Hello again, everybody. It is the...
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, it's the free safety coming up and making the big-time play.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
So we have to remember, this offensive unit, they've been off for the last 2 weeks. Had an open week. And so it might take them a little while to get back into rhythm. I know they worked hard to try and get past that in practice, but practice isn't game speed.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on 2nd down. Holt throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off the play fake. Holt. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Ready, blue ready.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And he will find his man on the outside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
Now Winston drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Winston from the gun on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Winston now, and that is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Holt. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you get a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run at.
They'll run with Elliott. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Jameis on second down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Nice catch right there. It brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a third down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Winston on 3rd and 2. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arms saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
Looking to throw. Holt. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Throw left side complete. It's Patrick. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Operating from the gun. Holt. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. So if you like field goals, you sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. Hurry up.
To throw on 2nd down. Holt, throw left side, complete to Ingram. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Green 39! Green 39!
On the run is Barkley. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Back to throw. Holt. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
4 down.
Looking to throw. Holt. Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 3rd down, that's Duncan. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. Just a yard, but that's all they needed, and by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. From the gun, Holt. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8 that moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
Ready, blue 80.
First down, Winston. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Crash.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Ready, black 25.
On second down, Winston again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Now Winston. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game. These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now it's Barkley, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. This is Barkley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Holt. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this one is right through. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game. That I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Ready, blue 80.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are close to finishing off this football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Again, it's Barkley. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And his kick is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. One last shot now for Winston. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with 1 in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
So now here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way. And
that's caught inside the 20. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there on the first play of the game. 49 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
All right, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Get it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays, exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Good job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
6 yards puts them right on the doorstep, but now it'll be 4th and goal.
Brandon, I know what I would do in this situation. You're on the road. It's an opening drive. You've got all the way down here. I would go for it.
So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on 1st down. Holt. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 3rd and long. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Set. 319. 319.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 5 catches, 61 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
Barkley. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Patrick. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Sadly, that's the type of run we've seen from these guys this year, ranked 32nd last in the NFL.
But there is good news because there's nowhere to go but up. Unfortunately, up might have to wait until next season.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So he had a chance to get him on the board there, but unfortunately that big yellow metallic structure in the back of the end zone, it had other plans.
And that's when we're kickers watching it the whole way saying, oh no, don't hit it. Yes.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Detroit!
Looking to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will make it 6-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
Automatic
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st and 10, Holt throws a quick one on the slant. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 1st down, Holt. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing on first down. Holt. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half, let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess that in the locker room, they talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
3 down.
Looking to throw on second down. Holt. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. To throw on 3rd down. Holt. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Looking to throw. Holt. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation. Let him sneak his way across. Coming back underneath. Put it in his hands. Let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Run.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's easy work, and it's coming in.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there at 22. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first.
At the 10-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
To throw on 2nd down. Holmes. Yeah, he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, other teams...
And he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. Well, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, Holt. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
3 down. Set. 3-19. 3-19.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Holt. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover, because one more score, and this game's over. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Okay, we got 4. We got 4. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. They give it to him running left. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, Well done, well executed.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
New York set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And they'll go on the ground. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The middle, third down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
New England on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. Blue line.
Back to throw here. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th.
Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated, another win under their belt.
And they did it the way that they really want to. Taking a knee at the end of the game. That means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth,